The Washington Capitals have defeated the Tampa Bay Lightning in Game 7 and are moving on to the Stanley Cup Finals. In today's video, we're going to do a recap of the Eastern Conference Finals with the Capitals versus the Lightning. And that's coming up next. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. We review and discuss all 31 NHL teams. So if you're a huge hockey fan, consider subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. So last night we had Game 7 between the Capitals and the Lightning, and the Washington Capitals have pulled out a big victory and are moving on to play the Vegas Golden Knights in the Stanley Cup Finals. Now Washington in Vegas is the Stanley Cup Finals that we all predicted at the beginning of the season, right? I know this is kind of a fairy tale season here for Vegas. Even Washington, I know a lot of people have kind of given up on picking them, mainly because of their past playoff blunders and the fact that they really just seemed like they couldn't get past the second round. They ran into the Penguins so many times and failed, but this seems to be their season. Ovechkin seems to be on a mission, and he's on his way to play for the Stanley Cup for the first time in his long, incredibly successful career. So let's take a look here at the Tampa Bay Lightning versus Washington Capitals series. We'll kind of go through each of the games, kind of recap what kind of went down here and how the Capitals managed to pull this off. It's quite an incredible feat. I mean, we saw the series get started in Tampa Bay with the Capitals winning the first two games, going up 2-0. It looked like the Capitals were in firm control here. The Capitals ended up with a 4-2 win in Game 1 and a 6-2 victory in Game 2. So, I mean, after two games, they're outscoring the Lightning by a score of 10-4. In Game 1, yes, they won 4-2, but really after two periods, they were up 4-0. It wasn't really even all that close. Washington was dominating a lot of aspects of the game. Tampa Bay did come back in the third period and made it close, made it a little bit more interesting, but still Washington hung on for the victory. Braden Holtby has been really pretty solid throughout this entire series here. We'll talk more about Holtby here in a few minutes because obviously he ended the series on an incredibly strong note. The Capitals outshot Tampa 32-21 in the first game. In Game 2, it was a lot more tighter as far as shots go. It was 37-35, still in favor of the Caps, but much closer, a lot more shots for both teams. Tampa's power play was doing pretty good. They went 2 for 4 in Game 2, where the Capitals were 1 for 3. So overall, Tampa Bay seemed to be doing better on special teams, but overall, Washington was getting more shots, more opportunities. You could argue Holtby outplayed Vasilevskiy, but not drastically. I think Vasilevskiy was pretty decent, even though the scores don't look all that favorable. I don't think you can put a lot of this on him. But after two games, the Capitals are going up 2-0, heading back home. It looks like they're in firm control here, but Tampa Bay storms back, and again, it's a series of the road teams taking up the victories here. Tampa Bay storms back the next two games in Washington and ties this series up 2-2. We saw two back-to-back 4-2 Tampa Bay victories. In Game 3, even though Tampa Bay pulled out the victory, the Capitals badly outshot them 38-23. And again, in Game 4, 38-20. So you could certainly argue in those games, Andrei Vasilevskiy was a big reason why Tampa was able to pull it off. Even though Washington, you could argue, was probably the better team. I mean, I know a lot of people that I've seen talking through social media and people I've talked to here in person says basically they kind of felt Washington could have wrapped the series up much sooner, that even though Tampa Bay stormed back and tied things up, that for the most part the Capitals overall were the better team, and I think there's a lot of fair arguments to make for that. They've certainly produced a lot of shots, a lot of opportunities, and really for the most part, even though the first two games didn't go their way, the next two games did. I think Tampa Bay did get a decent performance out of Vasilevskiy, and I think he did play a big part in kind of keeping things close here. We saw Game 5. Now, Tampa Bay wins 2 in a row to tie things up. Tampa then takes Game 5, wins their third consecutive game to go up 3-2. I know at this point, again, I've seen a lot of people writing the Caps off because of their past blunders. I mean, I don't blame people for giving up on this team. As soon as you think they're going to be successful and then they go lose 3 straight, you know, it's certainly one of those things where you kind of think, oh, here we go again, another playoff blunder by the Capitals. Even though they'd made it further than they ever had before during the Ovechkin era, it's still something that you couldn't help but wonder, are they going to fall flat on their face again and still fall short of the Stanley Cup? And even though you could have looked at this as a successful season for Washington, even if they would have lost this series, where they finally got over that hump in the second round, made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, I still don't think from Ovechkin's point of view, he would have been pleased without hoisting that Stanley Cup and making it to the finals myself. So Game 5, we saw a 3-2 Tampa Bay victory. It's a pretty tight game. But again, Washington outshot the Tampa Bay Lightning 30-22. There was no power play goal. Special teams wasn't really a factor in this game. Both goaltenders were pretty solid, but Tampa Bay pulls it off and moves up 3-2. So, like I said, you wonder, can Tampa Bay wrap this up? Obviously, they have to go to Game 6 in Washington, and Washington pulled out a big victory there. Braden Holtby pulled off the shutout with a 3-0 victory. You know, Holtby certainly was a big story in that game. Shots were 34-24, again in favor of Washington. Washington scored one of their goals on the power play, so a little bit of a special teams effect there. But really, overall, Washington played a very solid home game, got the job done. Holtby shut the door. They took advantage of some of their opportunities they got, and we're heading to Game 7. Now, Game 7 last night was a little bit surprising. The Capitals again, Holtby with another big shutout, 4-0. These guys keep exercising all their playoff demons. If you look back to the Capitals' history, especially being down 3-2, they quite often have really shown very little in the past to come back and close one out like this. So the fact that they were able to do it this late in the series and into the playoffs certainly proves that I think they've gotten a lot of the monkeys and the demons off their back here, and that there's a team on a mission. Ovechkin has played very well, almost like a man possessed who badly wants that Stanley Cup. And I think for a lot of part, especially in Game 7, it just looked like, we can make the argument in Game 6 too, because even Coach John Cooper from Tampa said it, that it just looked like the Capitals they wanted it more, they were more hungry. For some reason, Tampa just didn't look as eager to kind of grab it by the throat and close it out. And I'm not really sure why that was, but that was my observation too. Like, it just seemed like the Capitals were the hungrier team, and it paid off. I mean, in Game 7, you know, Alexander Ovechkin with an absolute bomb of a slap shot. I think it was 1 minute and 2 seconds into the first period. I mean, that was absolutely major for this team. We all said, a lot of people thought going into this game that the team that scored first likely would have an excellent shot at winning. It set the tone. You know, it was off a neutral zone turnover. They get into the zone, ends up on Ovechkin's stick from Kuznetsov, and he hammered that puck into the net. Like, that was quite a bomb of a shot. And they were off and running. They were feeling good. You could see before the game in Game 7, the Capitals seemed loose at practice. You know, they just seemed like they had more swagger, more confidence than they've ever had before. When they ran into a lot of Game 6 and Game 7s in the past, it just seemed like they were more timid and nervous. And they just, you know, when you play like that, it's hard to win if you don't have that confidence. But at the same time, though, even when you're confident, you've got to have a little bit of nerves. It's a huge game, and it could be a franchise-defining moment. And, you know, at this point in time, it certainly could be. So Braden Holtby with back-to-back shutouts to close out this series. You know, I don't think you can put a whole lot of this loss on Vasilevskiy. Obviously, I think you can make the argument that Holtby outplayed him, you know, closing out the series with back-to-back shutouts. But I don't think it's Vasilevsky's fault really at all. At the same time, you could certainly make the argument for the past 2 games, and for the most part in the series, that word that this potent Tampa Bay Lightning offense disappeared. You know, the last 2 games, there's no goals. Even in the last game, like, Stamkos barely got any shots on net. Things just really dried up, and you know, and just not sure what happened there. So if you're a Tampa Bay fan, what happened to the offense here? Like, you know, this obviously they got some big guns, and they just couldn't come through when it mattered most here in Game 7 and in Game 6 as well. So it's unfortunate for Tampa. But now here's a question I want to pose to all of you. Alex Ovechkin has had you know, a fairly not so good reputation for being lack of playoff success, and they couldn't get it done when it mattered the most. He's had all these years of playoff blunders in the first and second round. And even though you could argue that the Tampa Bay Lightning have had some successful runs here, in 3 of the past 4 seasons, they've either made it to the conference finals or the Stanley Cup finals, but they've yet to get it done. I mean, 2 out of those 3 years they lost in the Eastern Conference Final, this year against the Capitals, and the last time was against the Penguins. And then in 2015, they lost in the Stanley Cup Final to Chicago. So obviously, again, you know, a very, very successful regular season team. In the past 4 years, they've had 3 excellent runs to the conference final or Stanley Cup final, but yet they come up short. I've just seen a lot more criticism towards guys like Ovechkin for not getting it done, but yet, even though this Tampa Bay team is an excellent team, who's had a ton of success, you know, you just don't see players like Stamkos getting the criticism, even though in 3 of the last 4 years, yes, they've had some great runs, but they've yet to hoist the Stanley Cup. And you can't help but wonder, you know, what's Tampa going to do here? Obviously, there's something missing to kind of get them over the hump to hoist that Stanley Cup, because they've had a tremendous team for a while now. They're going to have a window. I think their window's not closing by any means. I think Tampa has an excellent shot to be extremely competitive and be considered a cup contender. for a while yet. The only thing they're going to have to run into here in the next couple of years is they're going to have some younger players that are going to be deserving of some big contract raises. And so they may end up in a salary cap crunch situation where there might be cap casualties. Kucherov's going to be due a big raise soon, and so is Braden Point. So, you know, they can certainly have some things they're going to have to work through. I don't think their window's closing by any means. You know, I think Tampa has a lot to be proud of. Lightning fans, you have a lot still to be excited about. The window for winning is still wide open in my opinion. But at the same, I just can't help but wonder why you don't really hear a whole lot of criticism towards guys like Stamkos, even though he's had a tremendously successful career, as has Ovechkin. He still hasn't been able to hoist the Stanley Cup yet. And, you know, is there something that needs to be done to this team to kind of get them over the hump? You know, they've come so close 3 or 4 years, but yet they've fallen short. So what do they need to do to get all the way? So our Stanley Cup final is going to be the Washington Capitals against the Vegas Golden Knights. Obviously, the one big connection here is George McPhee. George McPhee was the general manager for the Capitals for a long time, and there's still many players on this roster that were heavily influenced by moves that McPhee made, either by drafting, signing, trading, etc. And then, of course, he's got the new team, the Golden Knights, in his inaugural season. So George McPhee is certainly the key here. It's kind of interesting to see these two worlds collide and see who will come out victorious for the Stanley Cup. We will be doing a Stanley Cup preview video with a preview and prediction here in the coming days before the finals get underway, so stay tuned for that. If you're new to the channel, I hope you consider subscribing. We cover all 31 NHL teams. There's plenty of content here for all hockey fans to enjoy. So if you're new, hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. We'll catch you next time.